Okay, hello algebra students. We're being a little bit hard to work with today. My computers aren't working. So, let's get started though. All right. The main difference between arithmetic, which mostly you've been working with so far, and algebra is that with algebra, you don't always know where your unknown is going to be, right? So in arithmetic, you get questions like 5 plus 2 equals, and you have to solve it. But, which is 7 by the way, but with algebra, it would be something more like 5 plus blank equals 7. And then you have to figure out what the number is. Now you probably have already been doing a lot of this, right? This is really easy. Now, let's erase this. So a lot of times when we have an unknown, we'll just put an X there to mark the spot. So we won't know what that is until we solve for it. Now I have a question little thing here. Now I know this is weird, but go ahead and take a look here. This is our question. Now I'm going to have you pause the video and work on this. See if you can figure it out. Okay? So pause the video and then we'll come back. All right. Hopefully you actually paused the video. So here's how it goes. Diagram shows, it's more like a picture. The picture shows the amount of money that each player starts in a video game. Okay? To be fair, each player should have the same amount of money. That amount must be in the chest. Oh, what amount must be in the chest? Now, if you count all of the coins, it adds up to 30. So there's 30 on the one side, and then we have equals, because both players, you have one player with 30, and then the other player is supposed to have 30, right? So we know that it's going to, both players are equal. They're both the same. Now we don't know how much is in the chest, so we're going to put an X. And then we add up the other coins. And it looks like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have 11. How do we find this other X? How much is in that chest? So, to solve this, we use what is called the inverse. Now we know that these are the same equation, they're equivalent equations. How are we going to do this? The key is to do the exact same thing on both sides. All right, they're equal, so we're going to do the exact same thing on both sides. Now you have an 11 over here. If we want to move that 11 or get rid of the 11, what do? Well, the inverse, the opposite of addition, is subtraction. So we're going to subtract 11. That'll give us 0. But what you do on one side, you also have to do on the other side. 30 minus 11, 10, 9, 19. So here we have 19 is equal to, and we're going to bring this down, is equal to X. All right. So what is in our treasure box? 19. All right. So equivalent equations then, I want to make sure that you guys can see this, so I got to check my camera. Equivalent equations are equations that have the same solution, and to get rid of some of those things, we use the inverse, okay? So, all right. What is then, now we talked about this one, what is the inverse of addition? What is the opposite of addition? Subtraction, right? What is the opposite of division? Multiplication, right? They're the opposite. How about, what is the opposite of a square root? Square root. Do you remember? Yeah, it's the squaring. That's when you have your square up here on the top. All right, hopefully you guys are getting all of that. Now we're going to try a different equation. So let's do x plus 13 equals 27. Just pause the video. See if you can solve this by yourself. All right, hopefully you paused it. So, what are we solving for here? We're solving for x, so we want to get the x by itself. So to get the x by itself, everything else needs to go to the other side. So what do we do with this? The inverse of a addition is subtraction. Oops, not a 3. Subtract 13 from both sides. This one comes out with 0, so we have our x equals 27 minus 13, 14. Okay, now we don't have to just assume that this is the correct answer. We can always check it. To check it, you just put your number right back in here. So let's check it. We have 14, because that's what our x is, right? 14 plus 13 equals 27. Is that right? Oops. 27 equals 27. We checked it. Good job. Okay, let's try another one. Okay. This one, I'm actually going to show you the screen again. And pause the video. You do both of them, and then we'll come back and check it. See how we do. All right. In case you haven't paused it, I'm going to take just a minute and write them down myself. Let's see. Minus 8 equals negative 14. And b is 1/2 equals y minus 3/2. All right, so let's start over here on this. What are we looking for? We are looking for m. Now, it doesn't matter what letter we use. It can be x, it can be y, it can be a, b, c. It can be an m. Okay, so we're looking for our m here. We want to get all the rest of the numbers over here to this side. You can get the m singular by itself. So, what is the inverse of a negative 8? The minus 8. How do we get that moved? We add 8 to both sides. Okay, so that's 0. That leaves us with an m on this side. And this, now I know it looks a little weird, but we do subtract these two. And because our 14 is bigger, our negative number is bigger, then we know down here is going to be a negative number. Okay, 14 minus 8 is 6. Okay, so our m equals negative 6. Let's check it. M, which is negative 6, minus 8 equals minus 14. Negative 14 is equal to negative 14. Good. Hopefully you guys are getting that. If you don't, go ahead onto the office hours and let me know. Okay, now this one's a little tricky. It has some fractions in it. There we go. Now, we're looking for our y. So let's see, how are we going to get rid of a fraction? We add it, right? So this is still our negative. It's subtracting, and so we want to do the inverse, which is addition. So we're going to add 3/2 to both sides. Looks a little messy here. We'll deal with it. Now, I'm going to write it like this so you can see it. We have the same common denominator, which means we can go ahead and add these, which gives us 4/2. What is 4/2? 2, right? All right, good job. Now let's try another one here. Okay, x over 4 equals 9. Let's even make it a negative 9. What is the inverse operation for division? See if you guys can figure this out real fast, okay? Pause and then come back. Okay, hopefully you paused it. Now, our inverse of division is multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by 4. These cancel out. This, now, when you multiply a negative number times a positive number, then you know it is a negative number. What is 9 times 4? 36. Let's check it. Negative 36 divided by 4 equals negative 9. Let's see. 36 divided by 4 equals 9. Dividing a negative by a positive, we still end up with our negative. Negative 9 equals negative 9. It checks out. We got it. Good job. Okay. Let's try. Let's try another one here. Let's do 19x divided by 3. Now again, let's find that x. Pause the video. Let's try it. Okay. Same thing as last time. What do we do for an inverse of this division? What's the inverse? What is the opposite of division? Multiplication. Right. So we multiply both sides by 3. These cancel out, giving us just the x. 19 times 3. If you don't know it in your head, let's do this. Let's work it out. 9 times 3, 27. Carry our 2 up here. 3 times 1 is 3 plus our 2, 4, 5. So 52. X equals 52. So let's check. We got our 19 equals 52. We're subbing in our 52. Divided by 3. Does it work? Let's see. Let's come back over here. Oh, shoot. Come on, Light. It apparently can't see me in the front of the classroom. 52 divided by 3. 3 goes into 5 once. Wait a minute. 7, that's why. Goodness, you guys gotta keep me on this. Ta-da! Okay, that's what makes it. Okay, 3 goes into 5 once, gives us a 2, gives us a 7, 19. And that is why we check our work, because otherwise we wouldn't have caught it. Okay? So this is a 7. Good job checking your work. Hopefully some of you guys caught it before I did. This is a 7. 7. Okay. Good job. See, even teachers make mistakes. All right. Now I want to try one that uses a reciprocal. Now, what is a reciprocal? A reciprocal is when you have a fraction, let's say we have 4/5. The reciprocal of 4/5 would be 5/4. We just flip them across, okay? That is a reciprocal. So let's try one with a reciprocal. You know what, let's go ahead and use 4/5. We'll say 4/5 times m, make it a big M, equals 28. Now what? Okay, now remember, we have to do the inverse, which in this case means the reciprocal of this. So these 4/5 is being multiplied by m. So there's 2 ways you could actually do this. All right, so I'm going to go over both of them. You can pick which one you want, and that's fine. Okay. First, let's do the reciprocal. Now, because this is multiplication, then we divide, or we multiply by the reciprocal. So, multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Now, these cancel out. They give us m equals 28 times 5/4. Do we stop here? No, we need to simplify. So this becomes 1. You guys forgot. This is over 1. This is a 7 because 28 goes into 4 7 times, and that'll leave us with 35 because we have 7 times 5 equal 35. Well, let's check it. Can we check it? Let's see. Let's see if it works this time. All right, we got 4/5 times, remember m is going to be 35, equals, so we have our 4/5 right here, times m, which is 35, equals 28. I'm going to start going sideways here. Now to simplify, remember we can decrease these here. So this is going to become a 1, this is going to become a 7. 4 times 7 is 28, equals 28. Awesome, we checked it and it works. Now, I think I'm going to actually leave that there. Okay, good job. I'm going to have some worksheets on your lessons, so go ahead and do those, and I'm hoping to have it all put into an actual test, kind of quiz thing, so that you guys can actually give me your answer. But when you are doing this, I want to see every single step that you do, okay? Don't just skip parts. So don't just do 5m equals 25 and say m equals 5. I want you to show me your steps. I want you to show me dividing by 5. This is a 5, not an S. Canceling m out so that m equals 5. Okay, this is how we don't get lost in our work. I want to see every single step. All right, there you go. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll see ya.